Welcome back. This is Dan Havey with Real Network Marketing Secrets, and in this video we're going to keep moving forward on our quest to get you set up with your application, your recruiting funnel as quickly as we possibly can. So in the last episode we looked at the Start Application page and we went through a little bit of how to work inside of ClickFunnels, and we're just going to continue that journey by jumping into the second page of the funnel. And here you're going to see that there's really not much at all that has to get set up. Let's go back into Steve's funnel and look what he's got in here. And so all you have is your headline, and then you have this big box where you got your NDA, you got a input form down here at the bottom, and you got a button to click and a footer. So it's very, very basic page. So let's go back in here, and let's just start with the big elephant in the room here is this box. You may not have seen that before, so we'll just click on it and we'll open it up. And all this does is this houses the HTML code for that NDA agreement. So it's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo here if you don't understand how HTML code works, but it's basically the words that are on the screen. And so just leave that alone. There's no reason to change it. He gave you full permission to use his NDA. And now let's say up at the top here, you had looked at your MLM and they have different colors. So let's say we want to change the background of this, and we'll just click on the gear icon and we come down to background color. And let's just pick this green color. But you could, of course, put in HTML code. You could pick from any one of the colors along the side here. You can move around this little black dot and you can pick any color you want, however you want to do it. But generally speaking, you're going to get a hexadecimal code and you're just going to put it in down here at the bottom. But let's just change it back to that green for right now. And then let's say here, okay, well, we got this blue. Well, let's make that the same green color. So let's come in and you're going to highlight the orange part here, which means you're in an element, and we'll click on the settings. And what you're going to find is you have text that is white, and then you have bold text that is blue. So let's go back in here for a second, and you're going to see if we click on this and we highlight this, you're going to see the bold is a little bit darker blue color. That means that has been bolded, and this right here is not bolded. And of course, this is also underlined, so you see the U highlighted as well. So now let's click on this little gear up here. You can either click on this gear or the one, let's see, this gear right here gets you both to the same place. So let's come in and let's change that bold color. We'll just turn that to the same green. And of course, we can do the same with trade secrets right here. We can do the same with this bottom section down here as well. Actually, looks like because, yeah, okay, so the background color, let's go in here. The background color must be that green color, or blue color, I mean, yeah. So that's the blue color, so let's change that as well. And then that means that this section is this dark black almost color right here. That would be the background color for this section. And then let's say you don't like this button, so let's change that out because your color scheme is a little bit different as well. You can change the text here, the button, if you want. And then also the size of the font on the button, you can change that as well right here, the text and the subtext. And then we can again change the color of the button as well. Let's make it kind of a red color. And again, you can change the colors the way I showed you earlier. So that's really it for the NDA page. So let's pop out of here, and we won't save that. We'll go on to the next page. And we'll click on Apply Form and open that up in the funnel editor. And then we will click on Edit Page to open up the page editor. And in here, it's the same thing. If you don't like the blue up here, you can change that. The red down here, you can change this as well, or orange color. This is actually a divider element, so you can just click on that. You can change how that divider element looks. We're going to say we want it only 50%, and we want it centered in the middle, and we don't want the height to be 10 pixels. We only want it to be 2 pixels. And let's just change it and say we want it to be black instead of the other color, or we can make it green, and we can make it 20 pixels if you want. There's all kinds of stuff you can do, including what I like to do sometimes is come in and give it a dark shadow, and then come back in and turn it white. Oops, let me see here. Go back in here. Let's turn this thing. No, I'm clicking on the wrong stuff. There we go. Turn on it white. And then if this was a white background, it kind of has like a cool shadow effect, and you don't even see it. You can actually even round the corners as well, I think. So there's just all kinds of things you can play with in there. You can change out this text. You can change out this image. Just click here, go up, go find a different image, pop it in there, and you're good to go. Of course, you have to load up the image, but I showed you how to do that earlier. So let's take a look at a couple other things we haven't gone over too much. Let's look at, I just clicked into the text area here. Let's click on our gear, and let's take a look at our, it just says right now here, font family, headline font. So that picked up on what we had in our settings the other day. We went into typography, and we set what our headline font should be, and that was set as Oswald. Well, let's say that for some reason, this one, we want it to be a different type of a font. And so we're going to click on that. We're going to come in, and you have all of your different fonts you can pick from here. These are all just standard ones within ClickFunnels, but then you have access to all of the Google fonts, and I don't know how many dozens, hundreds, I don't know how many there are here, but you basically have every font you could possibly need to put within ClickFunnels. So if you're hacking your MLM site and you find that all of their fonts on their page is XYZ font, just come in here and set your typography. Now, I don't know if that will change it or not on the pages, or if you're going to have to come in and change it all individually. But either way, if that's what you want to do, if you want to change out your fonts, you definitely can do that. But let's just check this here. And let's just change out the font, something that would clearly be something different. And so there's a clearly different type of font, and you can easily put that in there. So here is a video element. I'm not sure if we've talked about these before. I guess so. We had this would be Steve's, what is this? This is his origin story here. The first page had the testimonial. This now has the origin story. And again, you just set it up. You load it up to YouTube. You grab a hold of the link. You drop the link in here, and that's it. As far as this row, you can change the way the row looks by just sliding this bar in the middle back and forth. You can change the sizes of the two columns. And then here's really the most important part. If you recall, we went through on Steve's site here. Let's actually just go to the next page. What we're going to have is his Woofu form, which was a survey that you had to go through in order to move on to the next step. So here's his Woofu form, so you could fill that all out, and that's what this blank is for here. So what you want to do is you want to go to Woofu or Google Forms, create a form there, create a survey there, and then take the code that they give you and drop it into this box. All you do is click on Open Code Editor, and you drop it in here. And I've already shot a video on how to do this, and so I will include that video below this one later on in the training, and it's really quite simple. I actually took about 30 minutes to teach myself how to use Woofu and went in and recreated Steve's form. So it's really quite a simple process of doing it. Down here, besides the fact that we have the footer, we still need to work on that. And again, I'll have more training. This area right here actually contains, in the background here, you can see that it's actually an image. It's actually a textured image. And what we can do is you can go in, if for some reason you didn't like that, you could change it. I wouldn't. I'd just leave it alone if I were you. But I have a bunch of backgrounds that I have set inside of my account. And so we could come in, and let me grab a background that I know is going to look different. Let's just grab this one here. And I'll double click on it. And now you can see it's more of a square pattern on here. You can change how it's positioned. Normally for background patterns, you just leave it on repeat, but we could do full center parallax, and you can see that then the boxes on there get really, really big. But again, normally you would just leave this on repeat. So let me see, is there anything else on this page we really have to look at? You probably want to change out that icon again. But that's really about it. I guess I didn't discuss this background image. So if you want to change that out, and you very likely will, so just click on that, go into your images again. You will have to have loaded one up. And then let's just see, let's put in this right here as a background. Okay, that doesn't look very good, but you get the idea. You can pretty much put any image in there that you want. And again, you can come in here, instead of full parallax, let's just say fill 100% width, and that really didn't change it at all. And a lot of times it won't change it at all. Okay, there we go. Maybe, I don't know if that's what you want it to look like, but that certainly looks better than the other. So there we go. That's it for that page. So let's pop out of here, and let's not save it, and we'll move on to the next page. So now let's jump into the broadcast page, and we'll open up the page editor. And to get in here, this looks like pretty much all the rest of the sites. Change out the headline. If you're not in Prove It, I'd probably take out I'm in Prove It. Take out the fact that you're under Russell, like Steve and I are, but that's okay there. Again, this would be a background image behind here. And so you could take out that background if you wanted to and replace this with anything you wanted to. In here, of course, depending on how you're going to have people come into your funnel, come into your application page, are you going to call them? Are you going to just send them from here to the application page? It's going to really matter on what you're going to put into these boxes right here. And I will have some additional training on this, on different options and how you can set this up in order to get people to get into your funnel, get them into your application page at your MLM. And again, at the bottom, you've seen all this before with the series of videos and then the custom HTML box at the bottom here for our Facebook comments. And that's really it for this page. So let's just pop out of here and into our last page, which is the join page, and open the editor. And this page, again, gets kind of plain at the end, just like you saw in the earlier videos when we looked at like Avon and Shackley and all the other ones, Herbalife, whatever else we looked at. They all seemed to be quite plain. They basically had a header across the top. The rest of the page was pretty much white. And so essentially you're going to send somebody from this page to your MLM sign-up page. So you want this page to look as much like your MLM sign-up page as you possibly can, so there's total congruity between the two pages. So again, you want to kind of look at what their fonts are, you want to look at what their verbiage is on the page, what the copy says on the page, and you want to kind of model it towards that end. And then, of course, you want to set out what are the steps that the people have to go through in order to get signed up for your downline. And again, reiterate to them exactly what they're going to get once they get into your downline. It's never a bad idea to sell them 2 or 3 or 5 times in order to get them in. So it's right here. It's click right here to join my downline. So boom, this would take you off to the MLM sign up page. And then you're going to get your auto lead and recruiting funnels, your product funnels, et cetera, et cetera. Then here, this is going to send them off to sign up for the Facebook group. And there's some automation that you can do once you get them into the Facebook group. You want to make sure you get their email address from them, and then you can set up some automations from that point going forward. And then also down here, join our private community. Let me see, to get our team's private members area, to join our private community. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, what the difference is in these two. 30 days. Okay. This is the onboarding funnel. 30 days to $1,000 a month blueprint. Okay. So this sends them to the Facebook group. This one sends them to the onboarding funnel, which is what you came from in order to get here in the first place. So that's kind of circular, but obviously it won't be for your customer. So that is it for this lesson right now. We went through all of the pages inside of the funnel. In the next lesson, what we're going to look at is setting up our email list, setting up our automation in this tab right here, and then we're going to walk through the entire email marketing program that we have set up for you as well. And so that's it for this video. In the next one, we'll get into emails, and then we'll get into a few more higher level subjects after that. But until next time, I will see you in the next video.